Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your December 29th, 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right, let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Fantastic. And one bonus card. And let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we start off with angels and masters, the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above your crown. Angels and divinity, they have their wings wrapped around you. You're very cradled, very protected, very loved during this time. Not that you aren't loved at other times, but you're very much going to be kind of feeling that protection around you, just a sense of warmth and security. Then we have clarity, the third eye chakra. Inspiration, the sacral chakra. And finally, we have forgiveness, the heart chakra. So we're going to see how this all links up to the tarot and also to the moon. So the left-hand side here is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the 7 of Wands, the Chariot. Oh my gosh, the Chariot represents Cancer in the major arcana. So the full moon is in Cancer. So this full moon in Cancer is so huge for you. It's impacting you just greatly right off the start. You have the repeat of the number 7, which is very much almost a life theme of yours, to move forward in truth, to obtain to this truth, to know what it is that you desire, and to dig deep into the knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of your being, to really move you forward. And that's going to be such a powerful part of you during this time. You're also going to find that anything that isn't on the up and up gets called out. So you're going to be calling out others. Other people can very easily, call out you at times, or you're going to actually find that you can call out you. And it's going to keep you on your toes, Sagittarius, which it sounds annoying, it does, but it's actually going to be a really good thing. And you move to blessings, and you move to the 4 of Cups. So you have the 9 of Pentacles, and then to the 4 of Cups, where there's this gift coming that it isn't wrapped the same way. During the holiday season and everything like this, we like things to look a certain way, right? We want things to be wrapped a certain way and presented a certain way. And this gift from divinity is going to be kind of left field, very much so. It's going to be taking what you thought you wanted and kind of turning it on its head. And it's going to be plainly presented, and it's going to look not like much, but it's going to be exactly what you need, exactly what you desire, exactly how you've been hoping to move forward, or what you want to come into your life. It's just going to come in this way that you thought, oh, I never expected that, or I never thought of taking that route, type of thing. You then have the Page of Water. So the Page of Cups, which is a water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, again, very much linking you to the full moon in Cancer. You have the 9 of Fire, the 9 of Wands. The repeat of the number 9 here shows that you're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. You're also freeing yourself from a lot that has kept you from letting your inner magic, your inner beauty shine. You have Temperance, which Sagittarius, this represents you in the major arcana. You have you shining through at your heart. And you have the darkness before the dawn. You have yourself being freed from doubts and angers and upsets and upheavals, and, a sense of looking at everything that you have been through and claiming your power and your worth and what it is that you desire from your life. It brings you to the 2 of Fire, the 2 of Wands. New horizons open up in the public arena. The 5 of Wands, it kind of wants to take it away. It's kind of like you start to see things opening up, and then you're thinking, oh, I can't do that. I can't move forward that way. What is everybody absolutely insane? And then you look at your dreams. You look at what it is that you really desire. And it's like, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? Those type of questions come through, and it leads you to the 8 of Waters. It leads you to a walking away of what you once thought you would love. You once thought, maybe it had to be like this. Maybe I had to put myself in, this box or this way of being. And now I'm seeing my world open. I'm seeing me open to what I desire. And it's a painful ending at times, because the 8 of Cups is always bittersweet. We leave what it is that we thought we would love. It's either a hit to our pride, wow, I thought this was going to be so good, especially when it's to do with relationships, or when it's to do with something so astoundingly intense as that. We can sit there, oh goodness, and think, oh my goodness, how am I going to move forward? Where is it that I'm going to be now? But you have the sense here of finding that balance, finding that way to guide you, to move you, to help you become, just one moment, there we go, to help you become who it is that you need it to be. And so as you do this, you have the sense of really needing your angels and divinity to walk with you, to really need this clarity of self, because it does feel like the angels' wings, they're just right around you. It's just this sense of, this is what I need, and this is my heart, this is my soul, and this is myself, and I'm connecting with a higher power than what I had thought. I'm just going to move the camera so you can see a little bit better. There we go. And there's a safety there. There's a safety to knowing I'm not in this alone. And you can feel at times, yeah, but I am. Like there's nobody here around me. Everything is so intense. It's so overwhelming. And even if there are people around you, now people depend on you, or, people expect things. And it's like, how do I live up to those expectations? How do I move forward in this way? What if I'm an imposter? We all have that fear of the imposter syndrome. And so here with your angels and with divinity cocooning you and saying, I walk with you, I protect you. Even when you fall, I will be there with you. And that adds a bit of security to things. And there's a clarity, there's an opening up of the third eye. There's a seeing things more openly, more honestly, more truthfully than you had seen things before. And it's like, oh wow, this is me. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what I desire for my life. This is a greater sense. And as you do this, there's inspiration that comes. There just is. And with this inspiration, it's going to hit you in the sacral chakra. And in the sacral chakra, this is where we hold our sexual creative energy. This is where we hold a lot of pain from this life, from past lives. Okay, and a lot of trauma goes to the sacral chakra. So when we talk about the sacral chakra, we talk about a lot of pain needing to be dealt with. And so these two kind of go in tandem, the inspiration and the forgiveness. Excuse me. So here, with this power coming forward, with this sense of I am moving towards my truth and towards my inspiration. You're looking at your karmic debt. You're looking at your past life experiences. And you might not know that subconsciously or spiritually you're doing all of this. You're also looking very much at your DNA traumas, your DNA dramas and traumas, the curse that was spoken over your family type of thing. And I don't mean that to sound generational curses. I don't mean that to sound dramatic, but it is the way that we're raised. We're raised by people who, if we're lucky, want the very, very best from us, but they are still human beings and they still get broken. And so we have their hurts, their scars, which they could also have accumulated and most likely have accumulated through their family and through their parentage and then through their parentage. And then, it goes on and on and on till the dawn of time. And so here, when you look at inspiration, you're also looking at the trauma that you carry. And it is scientifically proven that we carry trauma of our ancestors, that people who come from very traumatic backgrounds, like the closer it is to your line right now, to where you stand, the higher anxiety you have, the greater sense of guilt that you can have with things, the, being more prone to depression. So those things accumulate onto our shoulders. And here, with knowing this, it's kind of like I break free from the hurt that I was carrying for too long. I break free from perpetuating, the truth that was told to my family that isn't my truth, that isn't my power, that isn't where I am going to be and how I stand within my life. And that frees you. That opens you to inspiration. It opens you to a sense of, oh wow, I can do this, can't I? I can move forward this way, can't I? And then as you start to be inspired, as you start to see, there's the forgiveness that comes in. And the forgiveness, that's a huge thing, because it's not only forgiving other people, and it's not wanting to break bread with them or saying, oh, we're going to be best friends. It is a sense of, I forgive you. I don't want you in my life, and I don't really care for you, but I forgive the limitations that you had. I forgive who it is that you were at that moment. I forgive who it is that I was. And here, when we start to forgiving ourselves, that's when things get heavy. That's when you start to really pull on that inspiration and you start to see the pain that you have been carrying. And it's within your sacral chakra, it's within your heart chakra. It could be why relationships can get this close. And then there's kind of like a wall. And you might not have known why, but there's a need here to forgive yourself for maybe looking at things and saying, wow, I wish I was stronger. Well, you didn't come out of the womb, fully grown, right? You didn't sprout from the head of Zeus. So Athena did, fully grown, goddess of wisdom, came perfect, right? We're not that. And so here, we learn through our mistakes. We learn through what we look back and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda, type of thing. And it's the forgiveness that we give to ourselves that empowers us, that moves us forward, that says, yes, I've made mistakes because I'm human. And isn't the old saying, to err is to be human, to fail, to fall, to doubt, to fear is to be human. So why did I expect perfection from me? And why do I carry that within my heart, within my soul, within myself? Because during this full moon in Cancer, the full moon in Cancer is really quite beautiful because it brings us full circle. This is the full circle moon because we started 2020 with the full moon in Cancer, and we're ending 2020 with the full moon in Cancer. And there's a sense here of a great synchronicity, of a great coming together. And as this comes forward, you surrender to the divine, you see your power coming, and a personal issue reaches a resolution. Why? Because you walk with the sacred feminine during this time, and you feel like you've come home. The sacred feminine is, is guarding over you, is sitting there and saying, the voice that you didn't know you forgot is coming forward. The power that you didn't think to see within yourself is coming forward. And as you step into your power and your grace, you do so and you feel like you're coming home because the moon rules Cancer, And so here, there is the sense of the moon is in her own sign. And this is making it a time where you feel like, oh, wow, this is my peace, this is my harmony. And you might only get glimpses of that. It would be awesome, absolutely awesome, if from the 29th of December to the 28th of January, from full moon to full moon, you felt like you came home. You had that whole time, and for some of you, you will have this whole time of feeling like, this is my purpose, this is my calling, this is my soul, this is myself, this is my inspiration, and I walk into it. Because the personal issue of the fear, of the forgiveness, of the, inspiration that needed to come forward is reaching its resolution, is moving forward within you. And you start to trust your instincts and your intuition. You start to sit there and say, well, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's something to the little voice that whispers in my head. Maybe there's something to the instincts that I have or the desires that I have to move forward. And that links you to your angels and your spirit guides being right there with you. And you're becoming more informed about what you need. You're acquiring and absorbing information that you're like, wow, this came to me at the exact right time in the exact right place. And isn't that funny? And it's going to be like, yeah, it is funny, but it's also a bit of a miracle. And so I know we like our miracles bright and fleshy and like fireworks in the sky, but our miracles are also soft and gentle. It's that beautiful meal shared with your family. It's that nice, perfect cup of tea. It's that, beautiful snowfall and that nice walk with your dogs and getting to see your kids laugh or, things like that. Small things that make the biggest difference in the whole entire world. And as you embrace this, you become very introspective of what it is that you want from your life and where it is that you're heading and what it is that you desire. Now be mindful. Be mindful because this can lead to moodiness. This can lead to melancholy of things were better when. And you feel that your emotions, because emotions are running high, and you can feel that your emotions run high. And it is so important to be aware of your feelings and where you want to be and how it is that you want to move forward and everything like that. And you're going to think, oh no, I have to do everything for everybody else. And Sagittarius, you'll have a tendency, because you have this tendency to pull people in, to make them feel at home, to become just curious about them, and you make them feel so welcome and so, cared for, that you'll give all that energy, all that sympathy, all that compassion, all that understanding to them, and you'll forget to give it to you. And so as you're moving forward, there is this huge sense of just having this nice warm blanket wrapped around you. And then you move to the 13th of January, which brings you to a new start. It says here, a new start is coming. And you walk through this archway to the beginning. It's like this is part of the beginning and the ending. And it's so apropos because the new moon always makes me think of the god Janus, who has given his name to January. And January is, of course, the beginning of the new year. And Janus is the god of beginnings and endings, is the god of portals and doorways. And as we start a new year, as we, have a new calendar turn over, it's this new beginning. And it can also be a bittersweet ending. I mean, I know right now it's not going to be so bittersweet, but it's because we're like, okay, bye 2020, nice knowing you. But it is going to be a little bit, you're going to sit there and see that there was something beautiful, especially at the ending. There is something profound, especially at the closing of the door. It's like sweet remembrance comes forward, and it brings you to knowing that your hard work has paid off. It's like this year wasn't for nothing. My hard work, my dedication, my determination, it wasn't for nothing. And as you step into January, this moon really does follow you, and your hard work paying off is such a profound and beautiful part of who it is that you are and where it is that you're heading. And then we enter into, on the 28th of January, the full moon in Leo. And the full moon in Leo says here, don't let pride get in the way. Don't walk in ego, which sounds really simple to say, and it's really hard to do. When we walk in ego, we walk in a sense of thinking, well, I have to do what other people want me to do, or this is expected of me, or I want everybody to be jealous. And when we walk into the full moon in Leo, the full moon connects us with the divine. Leo connects us with our strength, and it calls us out. An undeveloped Leo uses their strength, brute force strength. It's like, you will listen to me, you will do what I say, and it's kind of like, it's like those people that you know. It's like the bosses that you have, where it's like, well, I'm the boss, and you will listen to me, and that's that, period, end of discussion. And you're going to find here that your strength, and the strength that really empowers you forward, is not the one that says, because I said so. It's the one that rules through compassion and kindness and a smile and a grace and a connection with the heart. And that's why it says, don't let pride get in the way. Because if you let pride get in the way, you'll just be tripping over your feet the whole entire time. If you walk in the truth of yourself, the pride, the ego kind of falls to the wayside, and you're like, oh, but this is me. This is what I desire for my life, and this is how I move myself forward. And I'm stronger and braver than I ever imagined. And the spirit animals for December, and I know we only have 3 days left in December, but they're so beautiful. And we've been living in them. So it's the owl spirit and it's the horse spirit. Now the owl spirit is so cool because it carries on into January, into 2021, and pairs with the bear spirit. But the horse spirit says here, freedom is yours. So you see clearly now is the owl, because freedom is yours. And this is the driving force of you. It's like, I want this freedom. I want my way to move forward. I want what I desire from life. And it's not having a tantrum. It's sitting there and it's assessing. It's assessing because you have seen what's truly important. You have seen what matters and what doesn't. Like, things have been made astoundingly clear, okay, especially during this year. And you have this driving force that's guiding you towards more. And you're looking at what makes you thrive, what moves you forward. Is it people? Is it, ideas? What is it for you? Is it creativity? Is it seeking out truth? You see this force and you embrace it. And it's like, this is the driving force of me. And this is what I'm carrying into not only next year, but also into the rest of my life, to have this driving force move me forward. And there are just such brilliantly strong emotions around you as you find the balance between your wild side, the kind of untamed side of the psyche, and the tame side of the psyche. And you see and you honor both aspects of your personality. And as you do so, the emotions, of course, come again very strongly, very intensely. And it leads you to strong sexual energy and a strong sense, and especially since you have the sacral chakra here, kind of like gets kicked up another notch, which can be absolutely fantastic, but it can also be a bit frustrating during these times. So here you have this exquisite sexual energy around you, which can also be harnessed into beautiful creative energy that is connecting you with the sacred masculine, which is connecting you with the sense of moving forward and being seen and going after what it is that you desire in a much more public way than maybe you would have normally and initially thought of doing it. But the owl spirit has this beautiful connection with the sacred feminine. And the owl spirit has this high intuitive state, and you start to see what others can't. But do know that during this time, everybody's seeing what others can't. So I laugh because it's terribly funny. It's like we're all seeing these profound truths, and we're all moving forward in this great connection to ourselves and to what's important in our lives. And it's like we're all reading from the same book, but it's in different languages and nobody understands. So it can be very, very frustrating because everybody's going to be caught up in their world. And that can be... It can be just kind of like, well, if you could just see it this way, it would be so much better. So it's seeing things that others can't. And it's also knowing that that truth is going to be sacredly imperative to you as you move forward, as you walk your path, because everybody else is seeing these profound truths around them. And they're going to be like, well, if you could just see it this way. It's like, hold to your truth. Hold to what you see. Change is coming. You're seeing beyond the deceits, beyond the masks of others. And as you do so, and beyond the deceits and the masks of ourselves, we like to sit there and hold up this, rosy, perfect mask and say, oh, well, I'm doing great. And sometimes we just aren't. Or, oh, I can handle that. And it's like, no, I'm at my limit. I'm done, sort of thing. And so here, this transforms you. It changes your narrative within yourself. It changes the way that you walk within the world. And it's time to face the shadows. It's time to face what we like to hide away from, or what we run away from, and say, I can't outrun my shadow. I just can't. It will always be right behind me. And so I face what is unsavory at times. And that leads me to the wisdom of silence, the wisdom of contemplation. And it's time to hold on to what it is that I trust, what it is that I most greatly desire. No longer dealing in the lies, no longer sitting there and saying, ego comes before everything else. Now I walk in my truth, and I embrace my spiritual path, and I let room for this, because you are embracing the brown bear spirit, the bear spirit. And it says, take time out. Take time out to contemplate what you have planted within your heart, the grounding and the focusing of your strength as an individual, your way of being able to thrive and to achieve. And you're seeing that there's a channeling here and a changing of confidence. You're looking at the way that you once were confident, okay, or your fallbacks, and it's like, well, that's not good enough. I want more. And there's a sense of striving for more confidence, for more greatness within your life. And there's a symbol here, and the bear is, of course, a symbol of healing through solitude, through meditation, through rest, through connection, because you could be doing things and like going after. And there's a sense of like burning the candle at both ends. And you're like, well, you know what? I'll just hit the year strong, keep on going forward, end the year on a bang, just keep on pushing. Your body will make you take a break if that's what you do, because you're starting here with the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands means already that you have a proclivity right now to fight for what it is that you want. To sit there and say, this is my truth, this is my passion, this is my dedication, I fight for it. And that's not a bad thing at all. The thing is that you can't be fighting one battle after another. If you fight with every fool, you will never stop fighting. That's just the truth, right? If you fight with everybody who doesn't understand your vision, or who doesn't get you, or who is seeing life in a different way, you'll be fighting with everyone. And it's like, step back. There's enough fighting in this world. I mean, there are enough people engaged in battle after battle after battle that it's like, why? Why are you fighting? Why are you fighting somebody else's fight? Or why are you fighting a fight that doesn't need, to have a screaming match between people about? Why can't we just move forward in a harmony of spirit, in the sense of, I stand in my truth? And that's what you're going to be doing here, because you're not going to be wasting your energy. You're just not. You don't have time for it. There's so much that you are doing. There's so much that you are embracing. There's so many ways that you are moving forward, that you don't have time for all the nonsense that everybody's going to bring to the table. Fight the battles that are worth fighting, because you'll have the energy for them. It's not being a doormat. It's not silencing your voice, but it's saying, I can't fight everything. I can't change, everything about everything, type of thing. It's just too exhausting. And you will try. You will. There is this sense here, Sagittarius, of like, but if they just knew. And it's like, yeah, but they don't want to. So why are you wasting your voice? Why are you talking to walls? Type of thing. Because you're going to see that when you save your voice, it's like, and you talk to walls, you talk to things that once seemed immovable, you start to see those walls tumbling down, like the walls of Jericho. And you can walk through and conquer what needs to be conquered. Because there is a sense here of this moon, it focuses you. And I'm very, very excited for this. It focuses you in a way that is more than you anticipated, in a way that moves you forward towards a greater power, a greater understanding, a greater truth. And it's the day and the night of you. It's, again, this shadowed self, and the self that we show to everyone. There is this sense of the power, the wild and the tamed. And you are seeing yourself move forward in this power, in this truth, in this understanding. You are looking at yourself and you're saying, there's no aspect of me that is wrong. There's an aspect of me that I will not choose to bring into the world. It's kind of like, how every person can be a monster, and they just can. You push a person hard enough, you break a person, they can become a monster. And here, it's like, if you look at yourself, and instead of saying, oh, I could never do that, like, oh my gosh, it's just so, no, it could never be me. You look at it and you say, oh, I see, I see the path of monsters. And I see that maybe I could fall into that. If the circumstances were right, if things were particularly hard, and, life added up. But I choose not to. And that changes the eyes of a person. To sit there and look at it and say, I could be a monster, but I'm not. I could be this, but I choose to be greater than. I choose to raise my energy vibration. I choose to move forward. I choose to be the charioteer of my life. And we think of charioteers and we think, okay, great, that's nice. But charioteers were like the special force back in ancient times. Pharaohs rode chariots, all right? In the Colosseums, chariot racing was this huge sport. It was like NASCAR racing because it was stinking dangerous. And, it took a lot of skill. And so when we look at a chariot and we think, oh, that's nice, we don't think of it as an elite form of warfare or of transport. We don't think it as this, elite skill of entertainment. We don't think of it as any of these things. We think of it as rather antiquated. And so here, when you have this charioteer coming in, you have the power of your heart guiding you forward. And it's guiding you in your truth. It's guiding you in your dedication. It's guiding you in your loyalty of self and what it is that you desire. And it's bringing you to the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is prosperity. It's bringing you to your harvest coming. Is there going to be hard work because the harvest is here? Absolutely. That's just how life works. But there's going to be brilliance and beauty and power and graciousness and understanding and this sense of a job well done. And it's like, wow, this is where I need to be. Like, this is what I've been missing. This is what I desire for my life. And it brings you to the 4 of Cups. Divinity, God, source, spirit, however you say it, however you see it, gives you this gift in the most unusual of ways, in the most inspiring of ways, in the most kind of like, oh my goodness, type of way. And it's going to be this gift. I always see this, I've been seeing this card recently, not always, but recently I've been seeing this as this cup handed to you that it's like a bowl, like a handmade, either chiseled out, like you can see all the marks on it, or sculpted bowl, but you can see all the fingerprints on it, and you think, oh, this is nice. This isn't even going to hold water, type of thing. But what you're going to find out is that it's like the sweetest cup that you ever drink from. Everything tastes better from it, and it's because it was made by the divine, and because it was used not because it was a status symbol, but because it was calling to your heart. It was that like nagging question that needed to be answered, type of thing. And then it moves you to you being a student of your heart, of your soul, of what it is that you want as you enter into your heart itself. And so here, as you are a student of this moon, you are a student of this time, you take things in, you learn, you kind of step back and you're like, oh wow, I never thought of seeing it that way, or I never thought of changing that point of view, or looking at it like that, like changing the perspective, type of thing. And it just opens up so many more doors. It moves you forward in such a greater, more profound way. And it brings you then to the power of the 9 of Wands, which doesn't feel like power. Because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's all the wands before you. It's you with your head bandaged, holding on to a staff, trying to move forward. Holding on to a wand like a walking stick, trying to move forward. And you've been through the ringer. Well, to embrace the magic within you, to embrace the God's head within you. Because Brahma said, I hide the God's head within man, because that is the one place he will not look for it. To see that, to understand that. You've been through the ringer. You have been. To sit there and let that power, to let the stars, the highest form of man's perfection, come out of you. It's like, I can't listen to everybody else. I can't do this the way everybody else does it. Though it might be right for them, it's not right for me. I move forward in the love of my truth, in the passion of my soul, in the brilliance of myself. I move forward knowing that I fight the good fight. I fight the fight for what it is that I love within life. I fight for what it is that makes me, not what it is that breaks me. And as I claim this truth and I claim this understanding, I step into the power of me. You step into the power of you, Sagittarius. And you know this. It's like patience. Sagittarius, you can be so patient because you're finding that balance. And you will also laugh at that because you'll be like, I'm not patient at all. But the fact that you can get frustrated and then go back and see, all right, well, how do I look at this again? And, how is it that I move forward? And where is it that I want to be? You see this patience. You see this power, this brilliance of you. And you embrace it. You embrace it full-heartedly. You embrace it passionately and brilliantly. And there is a sense here of like, there is more than I expect coming. There's a balance within me. There's a harmonizing factor to me that is opening up the world in a way that I didn't anticipate, that I didn't know I wanted. And yet I step into why I was put on this earth, who it is that I am, where it is that I want to be. And it has you facing this sense of hurt and pain and disappointment and upset and upheaval and the sense that everything could be like just a complete mess. And you're like, well, how is there reasoning out of this? And how do I move forward? And what is it that I desire? And all these questions come up. And it's looking at all the pain that you have been through. And there's been plenty of it. Each year, just think of a sword being stabbed into your back, as you lay on the bank by the sea. And as you lay there, and you're looking at things, and you're looking at where the water meets the earth. You're looking at where, the spiritual meets the practical. And it's like, why? Why did I have to walk this road? Like, why did I have to fall? Like, why did it have to be so hard? And why does it have to be so hard? And the 10 of Swords is looking at things and saying, oh, this is the darkness before the dawn. This is the point where it would be really easy to give up. It would be really easy to walk away from everything that you love and everything that you want, and to say, maybe just some people aren't meant to have it. We're meant to just survive instead of thrive. And I mean, there are plenty of people who live their lives like that. But if you've stumbled here, if you've stayed, you want to thrive. That is like the point of the channel. And so here, there is this sense of looking at everything that has happened, good, bad, and indifferent. But everything that has made you, we can always find that one thing in a year, and maybe we get it kind of muddled as the years kind of blend together. But it's that one thing that stands out, that hurt, that disappointment, that frustration. And it's looking at it, it's like, well, how did that shape me? How did that transform me? How did I rise from the ashes of that hurt to become who I am now? And that's what you're doing here. The 10 of Swords is the minor arcana death card. It is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the stepping into a greater power. It's the transformative, aspect of your life. And nobody transforms if everything's easy. It brings you to looking at the world, to looking out and saying, oh, I hold the world in my hands. Like, I've been through it. Like, I've been through the ringer. I've had my doubts. I've had my fears. I still have them. They're not going to go away. But I'm not going to be held captive by them. I hold the world in my hand. I can move myself forward. I can embrace my passion. I can look at my truth. I can. So why don't I? It's like, I can't, but why can't I? And that's going to be a big thing during this time. It's like, why not? And I'm not saying here, like, the Spirit isn't saying you run away, you join the circus. Upholding your responsibilities is something I believe very, very strongly in. And it's something that shapes us and makes us. And sometimes, yes, we can feel absolutely buried by them. And absolutely also gobstopped that, like, it's this hard. But there's a power. And that's also another reason why you hold the world in your hand. It's like, you have the power. You have this brilliance to you. It doesn't mean that you will travel the world, though you very well might, when everything starts opening up again. But there's a sense here that you have more to you than what you realize. There's more here than what you could imagine. And you're starting to see that, and you're starting to walk towards that. And it brings you, as you step forward, it brings you into this place of like, oh no, oh no. There's chaos within. People might start telling you, oh, really, you think you could do that? Like, you think that's a good idea? Seriously? And you're looking at them, you're like, why are you sharing this bit of information with me? You're not helpful in the least. And so with the 5 of Wands, it's looking at the chaos. It's looking at the upset. It's looking at the upheaval. And it's saying, well, I can either choose to be crowned by adventure or be weighed down by fear. And it can be a constant battle between the two. Nobody's saying that it isn't going to be. But it's not letting this win. It's not letting the chaos win. The defeat for the sake of defeat's sake, the fight for the sake of fighting's sake, and it brings you then, as you see that, as you see the way we self-sabotage ourselves, so as you see the way that others sabotage you, as you see the generational curses, like the negativity that was spoken over you coming into your life, and making you doubt yourself, making you question, seeing like it's almost embedded into your bones. Like, oh, I can't move forward in joy. I can't move forward in happiness. Remember when I messed up when I was like in 3rd grade? Remember when your parent told you weren't talented? It's like, oh, well, that just solidified it. It's like, no, because your dream is right here. Your dream is right here. And divinity is saying, it's time to take the dream out of the closet. It's time to take the dream out of where you've buried it back in your subconscious self And it's time to bring it to the forefront. It's time to sit there and say, maybe I can live this dream. Maybe I can live this beauty. Maybe I can have a bit of this glory in my life. And I know our dreams, they become a retreat. They do. When the world gets hard and everything gets scary and things become too much, we can go to our dreams. We can go to what our heart most desires. And we can say, well, this is my safe place. And it hasn't been sullied by the world. And if we bring it forward into the world, what the heck will they do with it? How will they ruin it? It's brave to make your dreams reality. Even if it's just in a little tiny way. Start off just thinking about bringing that dream forward. And then from the thought of bringing that dream forward, doing it in a small way. Taking 5 minutes and connecting and, opening your heart up to it and, writing something down if it's writing that you want to do or painting or you just start with coloring if it's getting back into the flow of art or, just whatever it is you start tinkering with things again because you love building things. You start it and then it just starts growing. It starts growing and the dreams start being lived. And it has you walking away from what you once thought you would love. You once thought you could have life without the dreams being a part of it. You once thought that you could put on this mask and be just like everybody else. But if everybody embraced their uniqueness and their brilliance and their quirky glory, they could walk forward in such more authenticity and a much more holistic place for them, body, mind, and spirit. And they would see things start falling into alignment. And here, that's what divinity is asking. It's like, why stay? Why stay when there's just so much heartbreak? Why stay in the past? Why not move forward towards what your soul longs for? And it brings you to the Two of Pentacles. It brings you to needing to balance you because you try to balance everything else. It's like, if I could be everything for everybody, I'll be happy because they'll be happy with me. And it's like, yeah, but what happens when you slip up? And everybody slips up. Or what happens when that person gets mad? And all your worth was made by being able to juggle everything so well. It's like, no, all your worth needs to be within you. It does. To ground you, to center you, to move you forward. Let's see here. What the moon has to say. How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Awesome. One bonus one there. Okay. How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? How will Sagittarius be affected by the December 29th, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So we have the masculine, the sacred masculine coming forward. You have attraction and hunger, which is interesting because we're moving into the full moon on the 28th of January is the wolf moon. So you're moving into the wolf moon right here. And there's a hunger. There's a hunger for what it is that you want to achieve and want to accomplish. And there is that sense of not letting pride get in the way, not letting ego kind of overtake things. It brings you then to discernment, to trust. It's time to give rather than to take, most definitely. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Look at the big picture. And this is the full moon in Sagittarius. So look at the big picture while you take aim, Sagittarius. You and your loved ones are safe. The new moon in Cancer. You're very connected to this moon in Cancer. So you have here the masculine, okay? The lunar god over what you are defending, over the way that you're moving forward during this moon. There is a strong sense of, yes, you have the sacred feminine all around you here, but you also have the sacred masculine that is saying, as we intertwine, as we come together, there is perfection. There is that moment of ecstasy, and there's that power within you. And that's going to be something that you can find yourself chasing. It's like everything has to be perfect, or everything has to hit that high note again and again and again. And it's going to be like, no, don't do that to yourself. But let that power flow through you. Sit in meditation, sit in communion with yourself, in contemplation, in connection with the energy that is around you. Because this is going to be more powerful, more spiritually charging, okay, than you have imagined it would be. And it moves you forward in a way that really embraces your grace, your power, your determination, yourself. And it brings you to attraction. It brings you to that wealth coming in. It brings you to that sense of, yes, I know there's going to be a lot of hard work to embrace and to move forward in, but now I am attracting the wealth, the prosperity, the bounty, the beauty that I have been so hungry for as the gift from divinity comes forward, that you don't really see as a gift. And you think, ooh, do I want this? Can I take this? Can I move forward this way? And it brings you to a sense here of discernment as you become a student of what it is that you desire, as you look at the magic that you call forward, and the way that, like, the outside influence that you're taking in, and the seeds that are being planted into your mind. It's like, can you be discerning about the way that you want to move forward, about the person that you want to be, about the power that you have? And the answer is absolutely you can. And it brings you then to trust. Trust as you have the patience and the temperance, the balance of self, to embrace what it is that your soul needs, what it is that your heart needs, where it is that you long to be. Because as you embrace the darkness before the dawn, it is time to give rather than to take. It is time to give of your power and your determination to move forward, rather than saying, oh no, there's just more that I need to learn. I need to take in more information. No, it's now time to give what you have, and not see this as being trapped, but see this as being reborn. You are rising. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. And I know people sit there and they say, oh, Dane, I don't want to rise from the ashes anymore. But it's like every single day you get up, you rise from the ashes of sleep. So we are always transforming. We are always becoming. And that's what you're embracing here. And it moves you then to really being influenced and guided by the new moon. Also this sense of a new start. It's kind of like the slate is washed clean. The end of a tough cycle approaches as the world starts opening up to you, and as you face the doubts that have held you back. It's like you're seeing an end to the sense of, well, I can move forward. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I can move forward. Oh, no, I can't. And you're going to stop robbing yourself of moving forward, of saying, oh, I can move forward, but no, I can't. Robbing yourself and getting yourself all psyched up and then saying, oh, no, never mind. No, I can't do this. But you are also going to start seeing that what has kept you held back before, like, these things are ending. There is a sense of things coming to an end, and of there being an empowerment, because there is this gorgeous end around what has held you back, and the doubts and the fears and the nagging ideas within your mind. And it brings you to taking aim and to looking at the big picture as you look at your dreams. And it's like, well, my dream is this. How can I incorporate that into everyday life? How can I move forward in that passion, in that understanding, in that determination? Because with the new moon in Cancer, you and your loved ones are safe. You are moving forward in this protection as you move forward, as you kind of rock the boat, as you change things. It's like there's a safety, there's the protection from your angels, from divinity, from your spirit guides, wrapping themselves around you. And your subconscious Luna message is patience. Okay, you are represented here by patience. That's what the temperance is called in this deck. So here you are embracing patience. You are looking at things and saying, well, I can't make, the wheat grow when I want it to. But it comes in divine timing. And through my patience, through my guidance, I can move forward. I can have what I dream. The stars, the sun, the sky, the moon, they can be mine, can't they? If only for a moment, but a moment is enough. And it moves you then to your subconscious, to deeper into your subconscious Luna message. And it brings you to adjustments are required. The patience is needed. The reassessing of the situation is needed in order for you to move forward in the prosperity and in the bounty that you are longing for, because your subconscious chakra message is peace. To be crowned in peace, to move forward in peace and harmony and love and brilliance. It's just where you need to stand. It's exactly where you need to be. And so here, as the adjustments are required, as the adjustments are needed, it's to align you with your peace, with what peace is for you, what that centering is for you. And it brings you to call. It brings you to judgment, to the resurrection of your passion, your power, your beauty, your love, yourself. It brings you to a spreading of your wings and a flying to new heights. It's hearing that angel call within you. It's hearing what it is that you most greatly desire and what you absolutely long for. And it's flying to new heights. It's like, this is where I need to be. And it's exquisite. It really is. Because subconsciously, you are being guided. And you can feel it within your chakra message. You are being guided by your angels, by divinity. And you hunger for this change. It's like, this is what I want. And I've always thought it was too silly for too long. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as you rise to new heights, as the doors opened and you're kind of blown away on what lies on the other side of the power that you can embrace and the beauty that you can have and the brilliance that is a part of you. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. And may you have a blessed moon.